Welcome, Asa. And Asa also was a tenant before he became an owner. And so he's going to tell us a little bit about that, but that's not the main thing that he's going to talk to us about. He's a former managing director of Make Your Move, which is a national online letting agency. And it was sold successfully. So he's a business person who has been quite successful. He's the co-founder of CreditLadder, the UK's first and largest rent reporting company, and he will tell us a bit more about that. And he has 15 plus years of experience in fintech and prop tech. So, Asa, thank you very much for giving up your time this evening to talk to us. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so Asa Bentley, Operations Director and co-founder of CreditLadder. So it's a rent reporting service for tenants. And yeah, just a little bit about my home buying journey. So 4 years ago, so I'm from up north, Blackpool, and was living in London for work for CreditLadder, essentially. And it was during COVID, and we'd rented a flat, got a great deal because it was COVID, loving life. And we got a letter from the landlord to say that they were going to hike the rent 25% on renewal. Absolutely gutted. We got agreement from them to decorate the flat, make it our own. And the same week we found out we were pregnant. So, bit of a scare. In the end, the flat actually rented for 40% more. We obviously didn't renew. And I think my biggest worry at the time was what if we actually had had that child, our daughter, and basically we would had nowhere to go because the market was then really difficult to find a new place. So what we decided was we really did want to own, always an ambition, but we really went for it. So we moved back up near home, and we actually moved back in with the in-laws and saved up towards the deposit. It really helped us. It's something I would actually recommend if it's possible. Whatever you can do to essentially reduce your outgoings and kind of get towards that deposit, because the main pieces we were told by our mortgage advisor was get the deposit and sort out your credit. So I'll come on to the credit piece next. So yeah, we saved up and then we were able to buy up here and really happy. Everything now with remote work, etc. I still go down to London. I still go to cities, Manchester, etc. for work, but very lucky that I'm able to do this from where I am. Uh, so yeah, so kind of moving on to the credit piece. So yeah, those two steps were save for a deposit and then look at our credit scores and get them in order. I was moving into this space, so didn't have a load of knowledge myself, but really started to look into it and then developed it out. So the first thing I did was report my rent, but I'll come on to that. You can imagine I did that as part of the company, but I did some other things as well, which I'd highly recommend. So uh, in a nutshell, what is it? What is a credit score? So it's a measurement of your ability to repay. So you borrow, you repay it in full and on time. That's a good record. You keep building them up over time, and you'll just improve your credit score. And then when you get lent to, you've got an increased chance of being lent to or at a better rate as well. And on a mortgage, that can be, thousands, potentially tens of thousands of pounds, depending on the mortgage size over the period of the loan. So something you really, really want to get in order for acceptability and the rate that you're essentially going to get, and also the loan options as well, because they can vary depending on your credit score. Same house, same income, could be very different mortgage options based on credit. And some people don't have perfect credit, and that's fine. I didn't. There's different things, layoffs, divorce, ripple effects of COVID. But one I've seen quite a lot amongst a friend group is just not using credit. So one prime example was a friend, good earner, and he just never used it. He just said I never needed to use it, whatever, lucky for him. But when he was going for a mortgage himself, he struggled a bit because he hadn't built up any credit. So in the end, he had to start using it. Uh, so the things I would recommend is credit card, but essentially kind of like automate it. So don't, just use it for willy-nilly purchases because it can be risky, it can be expensive to repay that debt. But have it pay off a certain bill that's predictable or about the same every single month, and then set up a direct debit to repay that. that will work. Keep the use of your credit card below 25%. That could be really, really helpful. And a big one as well is to get onto your credit reports and check for errors. So in the UK, you've got Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, who are the main three credit reference agencies. Experian's the largest, but you want to be good across all three. So go on their websites. You can get your statutory report for free off each. Download them, go through them, check for any errors. If there are any that you spot, you can query them with the credit reference agency or the originator of that loan. So, for example, say it's like O2 or something, you can contact them because you want to get all of that corrected before you apply for your mortgage. Free to do. You don't need to go and use something like Check My File. You could if you want. So that actually gets all three in one. They do have a free trial, but you have to be careful because it does then have a monthly subscription. So if that's not something that you want to pay for, just get the statutory ones, and it can be really, really helpful. And the biggest one for tenants is that we see is rent. So that's what our service does. So CreditLadder, founded 7 years ago. We started off working with Experian, then Equifax and TransUnion, and we were the first to report rent to all three. So this is actually quite big and well known in the US, but it's really starting to come through in the UK now. So as a tenant, you can sign up on our website, you put in your details, your tenancy information, you connect your bank account, it's all secure, we're FCA regulated, etc. And we read the transactions from your bank and we match the rent and then we report those rental payments. And you can imagine as a tenant, typically will be your biggest expense. You want it to count. We'll report it on a monthly basis, and then over about 6 to 12 months, that's when you start to see the maximum benefit. We get a lot of people joining with their main motivations wanting to own a home. We do have people who just want general credit improvement, etc. But you can go online, look at our reviews, and there's a number on there that will say, now gone and secured my first home. But we've only played a part in that. They've gone and done the hard work, they've raised the deposit, etc. But yeah, we're glad that we could help there. So yeah, go and have a look. But yeah, any questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Asa. Now, I was playing around with this, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. Oh, let me, no, not that. And it literally just took me away and stopped sharing my, oh no, I'm back, enter full screen mode. Okay, great stuff. Wonderful. Thank you very, very much for that. So, guys, I will be sharing the feedback stuff as people finish speaking. So if you wouldn't mind, just completing those. You've done my introduction one. That was absolutely great. Does anyone have any questions for Asa? Because he is on child duty today. And so he's going to be whizzing off. If you have any questions, please do put them in the question and answer thing so that we can deal with them. And if not, we will say thank you very much to Asa. Asa, thank you very much.